Alta Murrieta families, thank you so much for taking the time to tune in to this, the April 2017 edition of ColeyCast, my monthly video message to the Alta Murrieta community. And if this is your first time tuning in, thank you. This is my opportunity every month. I take a few minutes, sit in front of the camera, and let you know the cool things that are happening here at Alta and give you a preview of the coming events for that month. So let's get right to it. First thing I want to remind everyone about is second grade students and families. Your open house is scheduled for Wednesday, April 5th. That will be from 6 to 7 p.m. Kindergarten and transitional kindergarten has already had their open house. Second grade, it's your turn, April 5th from 6 to 7 p.m. So mark your calendars, moms and dads. We hope you can stop by anytime between 6 and 7 on April 5th. Visit your child's classroom to see the amazing things that they have been doing and learning all year. Teachers and students have been working hard to get their rooms ready for presentation, so we hope to see you April 5th, anytime between 6 and 7 p.m. Second thing I want to remind everyone about is our state testing, the CAASPP testing, which is for grades 3 through 5. That is going to be starting on April 17th. So we're going to be back. We come back on April 3rd from spring break. So 2 weeks back, and then the third week on April 17th, we're going to be starting that state testing. Now, students and teachers, they have been working really hard all year on addressing those standards. More importantly, though, working on critical thinking skills, problem-solving skills. So we are very confident that they are going to be able to demonstrate on this state test just how much they have learned this year. Couple of reminders regarding that state test. Once again, it's for 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, but we want to remind everyone, really important during testing to have students here on time. It's always important because it does provide, it poses a disruption when kids come in late, but during testing it's even more important because coming in during a testing session late really kind of throws a wrench in the gear. So please make sure that students are on time. The other thing is we want to make sure they get a good night's sleep the night before because we want them to be well rested and ready to go. And finally, make sure they have a good breakfast, either at home before they head to school or get here early. They can head over to our cafeteria where they serve breakfast each morning. We want to make sure that they're rested and have full bellies so they're ready to go and show us what they've learned on that state test. So again, CAASPP testing starts April 17th. And I wanted to remind everyone, or let everyone know actually, that your student will be coming home on the Monday we get back from break, April 3rd. Your student's going to be coming home with a flyer that looks kind of like this. It's a coming events flyer. I'm going to start sending this home each month, the beginning of each month, just kind of listing the different events that we have planned for that month. This will also be available on our website. And I want to remind everyone, I wanted to send this home so that you could mark your calendars, stick this on your refrigerator. But again, remember that as soon as we print this and send it out, if there's any changes that need to be made, we won't be printing out and sending another one of these home. We will always send updates out electronically via our website calendar and also our social media pages. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you're not already following us on our social media accounts, be sure to follow us. Facebook, Twitter. That's where we constantly give updates. So put this on your refrigerator, mark your calendars, but also be sure to follow us online because if there are any time changes or schedule changes that have to be made, those changes will be communicated via our website, Facebook, Twitter. And remember, we also have our Remind text messaging service. You can get periodic reminders. You can sign up for that by texting the word at Alta News to the number 81010. That's how you can sign up for a remind. So look for this coming home with your kiddos on April 3rd. Next thing I want to remind everyone about is our PTA. If you have been at Alta for any length of time, whether this is your first year or if you've been here for years and years, you know that Alta's PTA is incredible. They are responsible for so many of the great things that we do here. Things like our fundraisers, the monthly family fun nights, the carnival that we just had last month, the family movie nights that we have a couple times a year. All of those amazing things are put on by our PTA, which really, you may not realize it, but our PTA actually consists of a very small number of core members. Now, I want to thank so many of you who have donated and joined PTA, your financial contributions, but in terms of the day-to-day operations, it's a small number of people, and they have asked me to communicate to our community, for this coming school year, we are in need of a PTA treasurer. So people have stepped up for all of the other board positions, but we are still short a PTA treasurer. And to just be direct, if we don't have a treasurer, we can't have a PTA. We have to have somebody in charge of the financial resources of PTA. So if you are good with numbers and you're thinking, you know what, I'd be willing to volunteer for that. They will train you, they will show you exactly what you need to do, but we need a treasurer, because if we don't have a treasurer, we can't have a PTA. And if we don't have a PTA, all of those amazing events that I just mentioned would, unfortunately, they would go away, which would really, really negatively impact what we have going on here at Alta. So if you're interested, you can call our front office, or you can email our PTA directly at altamurrietapta@gmail.com. So hopefully one of you will be willing to step up and help serve as our PTA treasurer. Last thing I want to talk about is something called the California School Dashboard. Some of you may have seen in the news, we have a new state accountability system. If you remember, with our old testing system, there used to be something called the API. Many of you will remember that. It was a single number. For example, Alta was an 890 in one of our most recent years, which said this is how Alta's doing. And you could compare the schools who has the higher numbers and things like that. The old system, it was a single number. With the new California School Dashboard, or they call it the dashboard for short, it is much more specific. And they've moved away from numbers, but what they're doing now is they are moving into a color system. So instead of a single number, they have colors. Blue as the highest, green, red, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. So blue is the highest, red is the lowest. And what the new dashboard does, the old system used to just have English language arts and math. Those were the only two indicators that we were able to see progress on. The new dashboard has 4 indicators. It has the language arts, the math, English language learner progress, and suspension rates. So what the new dashboard does is it shows how are schools doing in those 4 areas. And in addition to those 4 areas, it even goes deeper and breaks those 4 areas down so into subgroups. For example, in English language arts, we can see how have our Hispanic students done, Asian students, Pacific Islanders, white students, African American, students with disabilities, English language learners, socioeconomically disadvantaged students. We're going to be able to see how each of those subgroups has done in each of the 4 indicators, which really helps us as a school to see, wow, where have we really done well? Cool, we need to keep doing what we're doing there, keep providing that support, but where also do we need to provide additional support? What the California Dashboard also does is it has status and change. Not only does it tell how did we do this past year, give us a status, but it also it reflects and indicates how did we do compared to the previous year. So, for example, overall in English language arts and math, Alta performed, we are green. So, and there's little pies that kind of represent the colors. A blue pie, which is all 5 pieces. The green pie is 4 out of 5. The yellow is 3 out of 5, and so on. So overall, in English language arts and math, Alta is green. So we're doing well. Definitely room for improvement, but doing well. But we want to break it down and say, okay, overall we're green, but let's break it down. So when we break it down, for example, in language arts, our socioeconomically disadvantaged students actually scored blue, the highest possible. They did really well. But our English language learners they were orange. We definitely need more work. And we're seeing that for English language learners in all of the schools across the district and really across the state. But it shows us, wow, where do we really need to target support? The nice thing about it too is, remember I mentioned that there's the status and change. So how did we do this time, but how did that compare to the previous years? For example, our students with disabilities, we scored for a status yellow, meaning definitely some room for improvement, but it also indicates that we made significant improvement compared to the previous year. So it's nice that not only does it say, here's where you are, it tells us what kind of growth or decline have we made. So that's the California School Dashboard. You can find more information online at caschooldashboard.org. If you have any questions regarding that, please feel free to stop by the office. I'm going to be hosting a coffee with the principal coming up soon. I'll be sending home the exact date for that. During that time, I'm going to be talking about the dashboard more and answering any questions that folks may have regarding that. So once again, thank you so much for taking the time. I know that dashboard, that's a lot to take in. So I recommend head over to the website, caschooldashboard.org, and take a look. And you can kind of see what I'm talking about. You can watch this video again if necessary. And again, if you have any questions, give me a call, send me an email, or stop by the office. I'd be happy to talk it through, because it's definitely a little more complicated than a single API number. So thanks again, everybody. Totally appreciate you taking time. I know you have very busy schedules. You are what makes Alta, our students, our parents, our community, our teachers, our staff, everybody. It is such a team effort. Alta is the amazing school that it is. Alta rocks because of you guys. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support. Again, if you're not following us already on social media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Sign up for our Remind text updates, because we want everyone to stay in the loop. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you next time.